Tofu curry is a great recipe to have in your repertoire. This is a recipe that I've created. I love it for a bunch of different reasons. Firstly, it's very easy, it's very fast, and everyone consistently loves it. The other thing I love about it is that it's inexpensive to make and you can easily double the recipe. This recipe you can also adapt for chicken curry or shrimp curry. The really beautiful part about this recipe is that you can make it for an everyday dinner, and with a few simple tricks you can elevate it to party status, and I'll show you how to do that. I'll be taking you through the entire recipe in real time. Let's go through the ingredients. We start off with a block of tofu. Be sure to cut the pieces into uniform sized pieces. This adds tremendously to the pleasure of eating the tofu curry, and it also enhances the appearance of the final product. This is half a large onion chopped, or one large medium onion chopped up. We use a little bit of ginger and garlic, approximately 1 tablespoon of each, and those are optional ingredients. You can skip those if you like. We need some tomato paste, approximately 2 to 4 tablespoons. I like to use some dried fenugreek, which adds a lot of depth and flavor to the curry, and any good curry should have that. We'll use approximately 2 cups of water and a little bit of table cream. You can skip this if you prefer. These are my spices over here, and these are some essential ingredients that we use in the curry. And really it's a mixture of flavors that produces the curry itself. So here I use a little bit of garam masala, which we'll add at the end. Some turmeric, cumin, cardamom, black pepper, chili pepper, and of course salt. At the end, I'll show you how you can enhance the dish by adding a few simple ingredients. So I've started to prepare the curry. The first part is to prepare the curry itself. Here I'm sauteing the onions in olive oil. I've used about 1/3 cup of olive oil. I use olive oil at home for all of my curries because I think olive oil is the healthiest oil to use for cooking Indian style curries. You can use whatever is your own personal preference. So this onion's been sauteing for about 5 minutes, and you want the onions to look translucent. When they look translucent, then you add a little bit of turmeric, about a teaspoon of turmeric, and you want that to just cook a little bit. Turmeric needs to be cooked. Some spices require a little bit of cooking, and turmeric is one of those spices. So we just add that in. We then add in the tomato paste. And we quickly add the water. And at this point, I turn the heat up to high, medium, or medium. We want to mush up the tomato paste so it gets incorporated into the water, and this happens very quickly. Now, a very easy way to enhance this tofu curry is to add some cream. This makes the tofu curry very rich and creamy and beautiful. And again, it's a personal preference. You may wish to skip this step, and that's completely fine. But this really elevates the dish to party status. Gently stir this. Now I add the dried fenugreek. And the colors look really beautiful, and it gives it a lovely, lovely aromatic component. At this point, if you feel like it's not orange enough or doesn't look enough like a curry, You could add a little more tomato paste, and I'll add this because the addition of the cream has diluted that in my recipe here. So I will just add in a little more tomato paste. You can also add in a little more turmeric if you feel the color needs to be bumped up a bit. And we just very gently mix this all together. We continue to cook on medium-high heat. Now at this point I'll add in the tofu. Using tofu makes this curry recipe very, very fast because the tofu itself doesn't actually need to cook. So if you're doing this with chicken or beef, for instance, make sure that the meat cooks thoroughly. Tofu simply needs to heat through. And already you can start to see how beautiful this dish is looking. We let this heat up, heat thoroughly, and then we add our spices. So at this point I would add a little bit of chili pepper, and I'd add about a heaping teaspoon of garam masala, maybe a little bit more. And you can taste your food as you cook it to make sure it's to your liking. I would also add my salt now, and at this point I'd add about a teaspoon of salt. Again, this is a very personal preference, and you may want to add a little bit less or a little bit more. Now this is a beautiful, simple, everyday curry that you can serve from the wok, just like this. We've added the cream to elevate the taste of the curry. Now, if you really wanted to make this very, very special for a party, for instance, you can add cashews to the dish, just like this. Now, if you want to really enhance the depth of the curry flavor, and again, make it a very special dinner, you can add a few simple ingredients. So I would crush up a couple of black peppercorns, a tiny piece of cinnamon, a couple of cloves, say 2 or 3, and a couple of cardamom. And I would crush this up with a mortar and pestle, all very fresh. And you can do this as fine as you wish, or keep it a little bit coarse, again, depending on your liking. And add it in. Very simple, very easy, and it adds a whole layer of experience to the curry. And it smells beautiful. Finally, at the very end, if you want to elevate it further, you can add about a cup of fresh spinach, just like that. And it enhances the nutritional factor of the dish, and it also looks very beautiful. You can see how beautiful it looks already. Here's the final tofu curry. Today I skipped adding the ginger and garlic because my guests prefer to not have those ingredients. But I would encourage you to add those. It adds a lot of beautiful flavor to the dish. This is the final dish and it looks absolutely gorgeous. You can serve it just from the wok for a casual dinner. And if you want to put it into a lovely serving dish, you can do that very easily, just like this. And again, if you're serving it to guests or for a special occasion, you can garnish your curry with some coriander, just like this. And again, it makes it look beautiful and it tastes wonderful. Just a little bit of cilantro or coriander can make a huge difference. Tofu curry is really great served with plain basmati rice. You can also serve it with naan. For the full recipe, please go to my website.